Downsizing is an emotional roller coaster. And I figure I would talk a little bit about the downsizing and how it's not just about moving, it's emotions, and it's harder than you think, but at the same time it's freeing and liberating. There is a gamut of emotions that I can't explain for her and myself. We've been in this house for over 25 years, since 99. We came here when we got out of the military. This was where work was at, and a kid was just turned 1 year old, and he's 26 now, right? And this is all he ever known. He's been through school, he's got friends. We have a lot of memories tied up in this house, good, bad. We've had family, friends, and parties, and a whole gambit of things has happened here. There's a lot of memories tied into this. And we've had things in this house that we had longer than we lived in this house. And little by little, going through and getting rid of things, donating it, throwing it away, gifting it. There's emotions that are tied to every little thing. There's memories. There's a gamut of feelings with everything, and we find ourselves that sometimes we when we go through one little section of the house or whatever room we're working on, we see things, and again, the process is slow. Like my wife or myself, we're going through things, and I want to keep that. I need to keep that. There's emotions to it, but we're going to keep that, and we're going to put it in this pile here, or these boxes here, and then it's going to go to phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. I think we're working on phase 4 about now. And each phase, we go through the boxes and whatever we set aside and go through it again. Can we let it go? Can we let it go? And like one of the videos, my wife was going through her stuff that she has in our room, our little keep room. This is the stuff we're going to keep, and we're going to go through that again once or two more times, who knows. But she's got all these things like office supplies, and she got very emotional and a little upset over paper clips, office supplies. There's a lot of things, and like it's hard. I like writing on paper and things like that. It's just something I'm used to, and I'm trying to get everything to a digital format to be not so dependent on paper. And how can you travel light, the lightest, without having to carry books and things like that? My wife likes to read, so how about everything digitized on Kindle or something, audiobooks. So there's a lot of that going in there, but there's a lot of things that we're finding out. Like we have shot glasses. I had golf balls when I used to play golf. Challenge coins. I've had Zippo lighters from when I was in the military. And whatever. And they were in shadow boxes and everything. And you got to give it, dude. No, you can't give it. I can't play. The boy dog never wants to release, but wants me to take it from him, and I don't feel like playing the game with him today. So back on my train of thought is there's a lot of this stuff. So okay, I don't want to get rid of all my shot glasses. I've had shot glasses longer than I've known my wife, and it just finally, what? I don't need to have 50 shot glasses. Maybe I only need a couple, the ones that I'm mostly connected to. Challenge coins, a lot of challenge coins and stuff. I just kind of pared things down to just a few that mean the most to me, like the challenge coins that were given to me as a token of gratitude, and excellent work and satisfaction that I provided customers and stuff. I've kept some of those, and I've gotten rid of most of them. Like a lot of the challenge coins, I have challenge coins in my cars, and I'll go someplace and I'll just leave a coin someplace. I don't care. I'm just letting go. My shot glasses, I donated and gave those away to buddies. I don't have shot glasses anymore. And I'm finding that a lot of this stuff is, the more we go through it, and if I go through it a second, a third, or even a fourth time, the pile of stuff is getting smaller and smaller. And it is very freeing, but it is very, very emotional. The the stuff we've had in this house, that defined who we were. Doesn't define who we are now. We're in a different phase of our life, but it did define who we were when we had this stuff, when we were living here, because our house was our safety. This is where our routine was at. This is where we slept. This is where we felt secure. This is where family was at. And now, the stuff used to be our identity. It defined our work, our relationship, and our legacy that we've had with everything that evolves around this house and the things that encompass it. And we're not in that phase anymore. We've graduated to letting things go. Do we really want this stuff? Is it really making us happy? What do we want in life? And I think these questions are what we're asking ourselves, and saying that, I don't have a big house, but maybe a smaller house will do us good if we're not really using all the space in here as it is anyways. So what is it that we want to do? We know we want to travel. We want to go explore the U.S., maybe go explore outside the U.S. We want to take it slow and learn and see and experience and create memories and rekindle our relationship with each other. I think before we were downsizing, our health was an issue, our relationship was an issue, because we never really had time for one another, because we were always rushing to get things done, on to the next thing. My wife's still working, I'm here. Yeah, I try to do some things to alleviate and make things easier for her. I'm not good at everything, and women are far superior with tasks and keeping the world in compass when it comes into a relationship. But they're very strong when it comes to that, and guys, you typically are just kind of laid back. It'll fix itself. I don't know if that makes any sense. My wife is definitely the foundation in the house. I'm just the fun house, I guess, to put it lightly. But we're not giving up. We're giving up things, but we're not giving up who we are. We've just kind of outgrown what it is that we used to be here. And I think for us that's important, because our next step in our evolution is to go and see what there is. What is life meant to be like? How can we help others? How can we help ourselves? And to be able to get out and explore and experience and create these memories is more important to us than staying here, driving a Maserati and living in a mansion and fine clothes. That's not who we are. We are very simple. We like the simple. We don't like complex stuff. We're not fake. We don't like fake people. We don't like fake things. We don't like the show, I'm going to show you up type things. And to us, that's empty. That's, I don't know, soulless. I'm not quite sure exactly how to explain that, but we're not big into the flashy goods. We want real memories. We don't want fake or pretend relationships with anybody. So we try to be authentic. We enjoy authentic things and people, and that's what we look for. I don't want a fake Rolex. Give me a real Rolex, right? But I'm not paying for a Rolex. That type of nonsense. But selling the house, again, it's everything revolves around this house, and it's no longer gonna, it's gonna be gone. And when we sell this house here, hopefully soon, it's gonna be out the door as fast as we can and into the next chapter of our lives. And I know part of it's gonna be feel like a whole new world is gonna be gone. I guess a book closing and then starting a new book. I don't know what that emotion is going to be when that comes. Hell, we might break down and cry. We might be okay. It might be a month before we cry. I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of emotions once we actually get rid of this house. Because this house has been here. We've been in this house forever. 25 of the almost 30 years we've been married. It's a lot of time here. We do clash. We do tit-tat. I wouldn't say we argue about anything, but we do kind of go back and forth about certain things to keep and not to keep. And there is this back and forth and frustration, this, that, and the other. And finger pointing. Oh, you're just buying it. No. You're keeping this. I thought you wanted to get rid of this. There is a little bit about some of this stuff, and just some of this stuff is just like, you got to let it go, and it's just got to get done with it and got to figure some things out. But again, you know, we like, okay, I thought you wanted to get rid of everything. Okay, well, let me go put it in the pile, this pile here. We're going to go through that again. And, you know, again, these piles, you know, we have phase 1, 2, 3, whatever. I'm going to go through this stuff again. I have some boxes. I'm going to go through again. Pare it down. Do I really need it? You know, do I really need this? Yes, no, it's gone. You know, does it bring me joy? Yes, no. You know, they're just simple questions we're asking ourselves, I guess. But every time we do that, the pile gets smaller and smaller. You know, in the beginning, it was like, yeah, I want to keep this, I want to keep this, I want to keep this. And the pile was still big, but the second time we've gone through it, it got just a little bit smaller and small. So I think if we keep doing that, and then until the house sells, and we keep doing this, it's going to definitely get smaller. There's nothing in this kitchen but a few essentials. I got some food, I got paper plates, some cups. I'm not quite sure what we're keeping, what we're getting rid of. I don't know, because we just don't know what that chapter is. But none of it is as important as, you know, my wife, my kid, my dogs, and I'm ready to get the hell out of here, I guess, if that makes sense. You know, we're not trying not to downsize fast. My wife, she's retiring or in the retire mode because she's government, but will be officially retired October 1st. But she's got she's on vacation and whatever until then. So we have time, and if she goes back to work, we're not doing it in the house, and we're not doing it here. I think downsizing from here and moving into whatever it is that we're going to move into, whether it's an RV, an overland vehicle, Airbnb, or just living in our car, I don't know. We don't know what that future holds. I know I'm going to go look at some potential RVs, overland vehicles next week. I'm trying to work out to see if what's going to work for us, if it's going to work, and we'll see. I don't know. We don't know what the future holds for us. But letting the house go, you know, there's going to be some things, you know, if we can get a vehicle that we can live in and travel full time before we sell the house, that would be great. We can stage that and set that up to you know, to live in full time without, you know, kind of roaming around and putting everything in storage pod, maybe having to get that storage pod out to you know, load up whatever we're going to keep, if that makes any sense. You know, we have a storage pod. Again, it's just how we're going to travel. I don't know, you know, how much stuff's going in there, how much stuff's not going in there. I don't know if that makes any sense, but trying to figure out to get our mode of transformation before we sell the house. If I can get it as fast as we can, if not, it is what it is. So I think the key takeaway that I wanted to express in this video is letting go is freeing and liberating, but it doesn't mean that you're forgetting and you're choosing to just let go because you're an evil person or whatever. You know, you're still going to have memories, you know, but memories may not be tied to certain things as much anymore. You're going to be making a lot more memories in this if you choose to do this. And if you're not retired or you're not downsizing, but you are thinking about downsizing and going to that next step, I highly encourage it. If you can do it, and do it slow and whatever at your own pace that makes you comfortable. Start in a corner. That's what we did. Well, that's what my wife did. She started in a far corner in one room, and that's all they did one day. And if that's all you do one day, one little corner, one little section at a time, that's where you begin, and you'll potentially get there. I don't know, some kind of news thing. Keep, as far as things that you want to keep, you know, again, you don't need all, you know, if you collect spoons, you don't need all the spoons. If you want to keep some spoons, that's fine. Keep the ones that mean the most to you. You don't have to have 50, 60 spoons or something that you collected. Maybe 3 or 4 will do. And that will mean just as much to you, you know. And if you have a lot of spoons, you know what? Put them in the box and then just leave them at people's houses or random places. You go to a bathroom or you go visit relatives or friends, just leave a spoon or your unwanted things at their house, or put it in the grocery store. I don't know. Just leave them at random places. That's kind of what I'm doing with some things. It's kind of genius and kind of comical and funny at the same time. So if you find random stuff in your house and you know me, okay, it might have been me or my wife for sure. So, but yeah, I think that's pretty much in a nutshell what I wanted to discuss. You know, it does suck downsizing, but it feels good. I mean, this room is clean. There's nothing in it. It's not my style. I mean, I wouldn't mind having things hanging on the wall or something a little bit more character into it. But this is somebody else's house when we sell it. So, and where we go from there, we'll make that our house, and hopefully it will be a smaller place if we find that place. And I don't know. The future's unknown. So with that, I'm going to leave everybody. If you are thinking about downsizing, you want to downsize, you are downsizing or have, let me know in the comments, you know, how that process worked for you, and what your feelings about it was. Are there any regrets, things you wish you had done different, or can you recommend anything that we should do that helped you, that could help us, or whatever? I greatly appreciate it. And like always, help the channel by subscribing. I greatly appreciate people that subscribe, give thumbs up, and watch the video all the way through. You all take care. Thank you for watching, and be kind.